All right, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me. So thank you for doing this. I'm going to go ahead and drop this down. I'm going to make myself big. So thank you guys for being here today. Today we're going to be talking about some sites and things that we need to be very, very careful of when we're looking at websites across various platforms. Now, I'm not going to be calling out certain sites specifically. I will be showing you sites that have bad information on it. I'm going to give you some general search criteria and search stuff that will cause issues for you. That you, when you look through them, there's going to be a problem. But I also want to show you that just by looking at thumbnails, you can't necessarily tell what kind of quality of the site you're going to be looking at it. As you can see, I've got the beware thing behind me. Over here to the side, you're going to see, hey, unsearched wheat cents. So we're also going to be looking at some of the selling sites, some of the selling platforms, really getting people to just kind of look at, understand some of the things that are going on, and make sure that you can do what you can to really protect yourself in this endeavor. Silverman 92, good day. I hope you're doing well. UCI, freaking awesome. William E. Me, thank you all for being here. William E., good day. Hope you're doing well, sir. Um, hey, good morning, Scotty Aquati. Hope you're doing well. This is something that in one of the conversations I was having during the week, somebody came up to me and said, hey, Frosty, we've got an issue. How do we determine what a good site is? And you really need to talk about this. And it's like, well, there's a problem with that. Hey, kid of mine, good morning. How are you? There's a problem with uh, trying to knock out all of these sites, and that is there are so many. I mean, so many of them that it's very, very difficult to discern. And it doesn't matter if we're talking numismatics. It doesn't matter if we're talking stacking. It doesn't matter what we're talking about in the relation of money. When we're looking at these sites, there are some things that I'm going to forewarn you on. One of them is kind of an oxymoron for me because I believe in the technology, but it's being used inappropriately. And that's paying attention and being aware of AI generated material. AI generated material is usually not validated, verified, or quantified by people. Hey, what's going on, brother? Oh, hold on. Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, there you
Welcome.
go. I was like, hold on, wait, nobody can hear Eric. How you doing, sir?
Wonderful, wonderful. Just
Good.
got home.
You just got home.
Yeah, I had to go to the store and do my running. Had to hit
Oh,
the coin shop.
oh, making the watermelon patch, not in the
Yeah,
honeydews. I got you. Hey, Steve, looking for silver. Good morning. How are you? Thank you for putting that. You were hello, by the way. That forced me to look over into StreamYard. Otherwise, I wouldn't even, or I wouldn't have even looked at StreamYard while I was kind of going over this. But again, when you're looking at some of these sites, folks, when you're looking at selling sites, when you're looking at some of this stuff, there are some things that kind of should stand out for you. There are some things that you need to kind of take a moment and go, what is that? And again, as I said just a second ago, before I got squirreled, is AI. Now, AI isn't the be all end all demon in some aspects. I believe that AI is going to be utilized and it can 100% be utilized for bad. I do believe it's already being utilized for such. I do believe there are good things that can be done. I think that it can help with certain processes. I think that it can help certain people with the various items. But there are so many misinformation sites out there that primarily use AI. Not only do they primarily use AI, they also utilize it and never go back and check. They don't fact check their information. They don't look at the information to see if it's valid. And that's a huge, 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 huge problem. So what I want to do is I want to pull up something. I'm going to add something to the stage real quick. And for those of you who are looking at portrait mode, you're going to see a video below. And that video is not going to be played. I have it there for a very specific reason because I want to talk specifically about this and one other site. But what I have here is I have put in the YouTube search criteria, coins worth money. All right, this is a very common uh, site search that people put in. And when you look at it, you're going to see a number of sites. Now, when you scroll through this list, you're going, oops, I'm over here trying to scroll through something that I don't actually have up on my screen. Funny. When you scroll through this list, you're going to see a bunch of different channels. You're going to see some very familiar faces. You're going to see some people that you know. You're going to see some people that you don't know. You're going to see some channels that give out good information. You're going to see some channels that give out crappy information. Um, but when you look at this, there is no way to know by looking at these thumbnails who's good, who's bad. Okay, so you can't utilize thumbnails by doing this. Now, I'm not going to say anything hint, hint, wink, wink, but if you see a certain face on a coin or on a thing, that's a pretty good tell that they're most likely not completely informed. Hint, hint, wink, wink, hint, hint, wink, wink. Okay, no names are going to be utilized in the making of this live stream. But if you see certain faces on videos, it's a really good indicator that they don't know what they're talking about. We're going to kind of go through some of those. I am going to mute this, so when I pull these videos up, I want to pull up this one right here, or actually, let's do this one right here. This is the one I wanted to look at. So I'm going to mute this, and the reason that I'm going to mute this is
Welcome back.
because I don't want to get a strike. Obviously, I am showing somebody else's content. The video will be put down below so that people understand exactly what's going on. But here's the problem that I have with sites like this. So they show these coins and they talk about the 4 ultra quarters that are the most valuable. And they show coins that are found in pocket. No. They've got junk on them. They're scratched up. They've got all sorts of stuff. They're talking about uh, coins that are unique, 1-off, 2-offs, 3-offs. Now, I'm going to play just a snippet of this, and I want you to listen to it very carefully. And I want people to put into chat what they hear. Okay, so I'm only going to play a very short snippet of this. Again, I'll be putting the information in the details of the live, but I want people to listen for just a moment, very carefully. Listen to what you're hearing.
Is indeed a sought-after piece among collectors. Its scarcity and historical significance contribute to its allure. Condition is paramount, so if you have one in excellent shape...
Okay, so yeah, there you go. That's one of them. Yeah, the voice, absolutely, Eric. And Eric, you can talk. You don't have to do that unless you're doing something.
No,
Feel,
you're doing good.
feel free to cut me off. With you and Paul on here, I'm used to it.
Oh, thanks.
Oh no, just it's all in good fun.
No, it's doing that same voice. It's just like an AI. Uh, it's a telltale.
Yeah, and it really is. Now, granted, I have done a couple things because I wanted to experiment, and I've talked with Eric about this. I talked with Paul about this. I've talked to other people about the fact that I was going to run a couple AI generated shorts that I created. It's all good content. It's all good. I just used an AI automated voice, and I wanted to see what happened with it.
And it should be good. I mean, AI is only as good as the actual I that's putting it together,
And yeah, so the I he's talking about is information, not the person who's seeing. Because what's
or the
really important,
programmer's intelligence.
well, no, it's the I.
Information, so it's I.
Yeah, because here's the problem with intelligence. Intelligence is a quotient that is not necessarily definable. And so the problem when you talk about artificial intelligence, it's only as smart. Now they have self-learning programs, but it's only as smart as the person who develops it. The problem and what everybody's scared about is when AI takes over. Now, here's another thing. I want to stop this. Okay. I want to go back to that just a second. Okay. So I want to look at this. Okay. So
6060 quarter without a mint mark, huh?
can range from $0.89 thousand, $0.89 thousand, folks. So when you do this, there's a couple things that you need to understand when you're looking and you're watching these things. Okay. Now, there's a couple things that people make mistakes, honest to God mistakes, and they'll put something in there. And I'm not talking about goofy grammatical stuff or somebody putting in, um, you know, this decimal place. Okay, okay, somebody accidentally put that in. I get that. But again, when you listen to something, you have to talk about. Yeah, you have to pay attention to some basic things. And I get frustrated by this. I'm having a hard time even talking because it frustrates the hell out of me. If you see a video and they're showing a 1955 double die, but they're talking about the 1972, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They didn't quality check this. They don't know the coins. They don't even have a clue of what it is they're looking at. These coins that they're talking about, the 4 Ultra Cameo, not or the 4 Ultra Quarters that are here, not one of them is a proof, right? Not one of them that they're showing is a proof. 2 of the 4 that they're talking about are proof coins in the highest grade for that particular year. They're top box. You're not going to find those in pocket change. They're just not going to happen. Now, go
And the
ahead, Eric.
misleading thing here is the 1966D quarter without a mint mark is every one.
Made from Philadelphia.
Well, no, they were made in Denver, but they didn't have no coins had mint marks.
Well, but yeah, they were made in San Francisco.
They were made there too. They didn't have a mint mark.
Yeah. So again, is people just like think about some of the stuff that's going on. Okay, number one, are there coins without mint marks that are valuable?
Yes.
Absolutely. But there's very
Lots
few of
of
them.
proof set coins. 70S, 71S. I'm just trying to think of some off the top of my head. There's quite a few actually.
The 1982.
There's 82
Yep, that
without a
one was
mint mark.
found.
Yeah.
That was a
The
circulation strike.
82P
One of the
dime.
only. One of the only. Actually, if I'm hold on. The only circulation strike that was intended to have a mint mark that didn't was the 1982.
And they say that they think 10,000 escaped, and there's like 2,500 graded, I think,
Yeah,
across all
and
three platforms.
if you think about where those things were located, they were all located, almost all of them were in bags that were delivered to a movie theater place and were given out in concessions then as change,
Yep.
right? And so when you see all of these people, now this is where I want people to really talk about. When you look at some of these people, it's important to understand the premise behind what they're talking about. If you're talking about a circulation strike and they're talking about no D, the only one they can really talk about is 1982 diamond. It's the only circulation that is designed outside of 65, 65, 66, 67. They're the only circulation strikes, but those weren't intended to have missing mint marks. They were intended, excuse me, they were intended to have missing mint marks. The 1982 no D, the 1982 dime is the
No
only one
P. It's no
intended.
P.
Huh?
It's no
No
P.
P, excuse me. Thank you. Appreciate that. Was actually intended to have that. The 1982 Philly Peace Dollar, no Philadelphia Peace Dollar, none, had ever had a mint mark.
Yeah, the mint marks, the Philadelphia mint marks are relatively new.
Yeah,
I want to
and
say it might even be 81 or 82. Let me look.
yeah. So when you're looking at some of these again, you have to know when these things come out. Now, one of the problems with this is, especially looking at some of these sites, there's a lot of information. You have to be very, very careful. But so again, this is just one of the sites. The other one of the sites, and I'm going to drop this one down. The other one of the sites you can see over in the corner. Oops, what I don't know why I did that. If you're watching, it's down below me. If you're watching on the vertical side, and if you're watching in the horizontal side, it's up over here. There's another site, and I'm going to go ahead and share this. Oops, hold on, not wrong. Point of Rosie. God, you gotta love it. Stay away from groups like this. And if you go in and you listen to one or two of these, and everything they do is AI voice generated, everything they do is AI voice generated, avoid the channel like the plague. Okay, there are channels that have actually good information that all they do is AI. Now, they use AI to generate the information. They use AI, they write the scripts, they validate, they verify it. But if all they do is use AI, you have to really scrutinize everything you do. Like, you really have to pay attention. Southern Coin Hunter said, run. If I hear AI, now, there are some advents of AI that are very, very different. Okay. But it's important that you look at some of these items and really look at this site right here is one of the few that I will call out all the time. I will say this site is horrible. Don't look at it. The problem is that when you search, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to type in coins of value, coins worth money, and they'll almost always show up in the web. Okay, yeah, old rare coins. That's coins worth money. And you'll get the like coins of Rosie will always pop up. Because what they do is they utilize people's desire to find a one and done coin, the one coin that's going to set them up for the remainder of their life, the one coin that's going to buy that coin. So you've got to be very careful with this because there's a lot of situations in which you will see. Um, didn't need to hold my mouse for that. But again, you'll see some of these channels they go through, and it looks like they have their stuff together. There's also a telltale sign in these videos, and you'll see them with a lot of the Chinese. And I'm going to see it's this screen right here. Okay, I'm going to click on this. Discover wheat pennies. I don't want anything here. This screen where they show the coin and the tube, and they're walking through. Where they're walking through this tube right here. You're going to see a lot of Chinese manufactured pieces of information where they generate this through. It happens through India. There's a lot of different countries that are just utilizing my voice is cutting in and out. I think it's because I turn my head to look over here. So I'll keep my head focused this direction. That should solve it. If it continues to happen, let me know, and I'll go in and adjust. I think I know why it's happening, but
You're loud and clear on my end, so you
yeah,
know.
I'll continue to check it. I think when I turn my head across, it loses a lot of it. So
A
I'll
little
make
bit,
sure
a little
that
bit.
I talk straight ahead because I was looking at this. But what I can do is I can move this over here. But this right here is something that almost always, if you see this, and I used to use this in my videos when I was brand new. So I'm talking to this from my end, from somebody who's actually used this before. I used this because I had no idea at the very beginning exactly what I was looking for. It was a really nice video way for 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds of time to pass where I could talk about something and not have to worry about figuring out all the other intricacies of the item. Now, just because people use this doesn't mean it's bad. No, but there are little telltale signs like this. That jar where you come in through the jar. As a matter of fact, I used to use this as when I first started as a channel, I used to utilize this as one of my intros. And I had it where you came through and you were looking at the coins. This is a standard feature in some of the software that's utilized to edit uh, your video creation. Some of the basic out of the box stuff. Now, why am I saying that I used to use this? Because I didn't know a lot at the beginning. When I came in, I knew some basic information, but I was wanting to ask questions and learn and really understand the basic premises. So I came in and I would come up with items, I would talk with people, ask a bunch of questions, I would gather the information, and then I would create a video. And for the most part, almost every video I created at the beginning of my thing is gone because 85% of them is gone. There was some piece of information in there, and you can go back to the very, very beginning and look at some of those, and you'll see some of these items. The old Henning Nickel one, the great Henning Nickel. Like it turned out really good. I had like 11,000 views. Just it blew up on me. Had no idea why. I was fascinated by it. I really wanted to learn. I really wanted to understand the importance of that particular item. But I used to utilize this stuff. People that see this kind of stuff need to question what are they saying, right? And really pay attention to it. Now, I'm going to pick on one of our other channels. This is a channel that I quite frequently see in search criteria coming through. And this is, and when you see this, hint, hint, oh, hinting and twink, wink. Look at that face. Okay, folks. Again, okay. Yeah, be aware of certain people. You might like what they have to say, but again, save this video. You're going to need this later. This is the first time anybody's ever talked about this. It's horse crap. They've been talking about that stuff for years. Okay, it's a FOMO piece. It's a way to get people who don't know what's going on. But as you scroll through here, you're going to see a bunch of different stuff. And you know what? Actually, I haven't seen any of the stuff. Oh, look at that! Hey, hey, hey! My name popped up. Where is he? Oh my God! Come on. Let's do this. Let's do the 1982 copper cent. All right, this is something that everybody looks at, and you get all sorts of weird stuff. But there's copper coins, right? There you go. You want to look at that? It's really easy. He points out right at the beginning what you need to look for. Period. End of story. It's very clear, very concise. But as you look through some of these, you really have a hard time trying to determine what's good, what's bad. But the one I want to pick on, dang it, I'm not seeing him. I'm just going to have to show this because I I always laugh at his thumbnails because they're like, um, okay, I love this guy. Great information. Please understand that when I show this, I'm talking about good things. When you see this stuff, okay, you see a lot of good information, okay? But look, some of this stuff is that, oh my God, market's in jeopardy. Now, just because you see this kind of stuff doesn't mean you're getting junk material, okay? Sometimes you have to grab people's attention in order to do that. Okay, this is something that you see a lot, right? Instant flip, $3,200, wow, or revealed. Okay, these are things you'll see all the time. It does not mean $2,500, right? Looking at these kind of items. This does not mean that the stuff that he gives is junk. What he actually does is he captures people's attention and it gives them good, solid information. If you actually listen to Sean talk, you understand what he talks about. You understand the details and the intricacies of what he's looking for. You'll understand very quickly that, yeah, sometimes his thumbnails are a little bit of clickbaity, but he backs it up with information. The reason I show that is you see a lot of these other channels that have clickbaity titles, but they talk about nothing. They talk random information about the coin, but they never tell you what it actually is you're supposed to be looking for. They give you general numbers, but they don't actually look at anything specific. They give you no substance. And if you watch a 10-minute video and you get nothing from it, what value was it to you? Right? So I want to urge people caution by looking at certain like eye caption things. I want to get back to copper. Okay. Now you guys know that I love and support copper coins, right? You look at it, it's pretty cool. But when you get in, I don't think Chuck will have any problem me playing the audio from this.
No.
Time to straighten out
Okay.
the mystery about 1982 Lincoln cents. This first slide right here that I'm going to show you shows a large date on the left-hand side and a small date on the right-hand side.
Okay, boom.
And
Okay. So right from the get-go, this is what you're seeing. Small date on the left, big date on the right. Like the immediate start of the video gives you a solid piece of information in which you know you can take from. It is something that this 1982 penny is worth $50,000 in this condition. Look at this coin. This coin is fabulous. Do you have one? Can find this you in pocket change. Run. Run from those
Well,
channels.
even when people ask about that, that's the number one question I get emailed with is I've got this. And don't go out of your way to search for it. I mean, if when the 82s come across your desk, by all means look at them. But the chance of you finding that coin is probably less than most other coins there are. You probably got lottery chances that are greater than that will pay out better.
Hey, Steve LaPointe, happy birthday, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful day.
So, I mean, and even Chuck says the same thing. He says, don't just look. There's so many coins to find. They may not be worth, let's just say $25,000, but they might be worth 100. They might be worth 50. They might be worth 10. And for a 1 cent investment, that's not a bad take. You get to find a $10 coin in your pocket change. That's not bad at all. But I think it's just more work than they want to do.
Well,
They
I
want
don't
to get
think that
rich quick.
yeah, I don't think that it's the work that they don't want to do. I think what happens is it's everybody wants to find and believe they found the coin of value. And they watch
Sure.
these channels. And again, folks, I'm not picking on anyone in particular channel. But when you look at this right here, they don't show the coin. They don't necessarily talk about what it is they just say it's worth $100,000. They do these fancy little turns of the coins, but they don't ever actually tell you what exactly it is you're looking for. They just show you a coin. In some cases, I've seen the 1969 double die, and they're showing a 1971 cent. Or they're talking about the 1909 SVDB, and they show a 1909 VDB.
Right.
Or they're
And
talking
that's because
about,
they're not giving the AI the tools that the AI needs to work with.
well, because they don't know.
Right.
And so the one thing that you all can do, number one, is if you hear AI, I don't care if Blue Ridge Silverhound did a video that was all AI, you should scrutinize the hell out of that video. Number one, I would think that somebody hacked his account. I would think that there's some sort of joke embedded because Sean doesn't do that. So first off, you'd have to know who your thing was, who your target is, who your channels are. If Chuck did an AI video, I would absolutely 100% believe somebody hacked his account.
Right.
Okay, because he's got so much knowledge, there's no reason for it. So if you hear an AI talking about coins, I would be very, very leery right off the get-go, and I would immediately start to scrutinize that. Now, you may get an AI video that's 100% on point. The content is good, the images are good, the stuff that they talk about is good. So it doesn't mean that just because it's AI, it's bad information. But if you hear AI, you should immediately scrutinize, especially if it's the cheap AI that everybody gets, like this.
19.00 millimeters weight,
19.00 millimeters, that 19,505 die.
Philadelphia metal, 95.
Philadelphia metal. Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on, folks. Look,
Even
3.1 grams minted,
114,000?
33,058,000 meant Philadelphia metal. The language is atrocious.
Yeah, that's one specific coin that you'll never find in pocket change.
So
That's probably, I'm not even sure the top pop is worth that much. I'm going to check right now.
it may have been like the very, very top pop.
That's what I'm saying. If that is a accurate, let's just say if that's accurate,
Yeah.
it would be the top pop coin, and it would be literally one coin.
Oh, and it would not be something that you found in pocket change.
Yeah, it would never be
no.
in your pocket. That coin was never in anybody's pocket.
No. And so, well, now, Southern Coin Hunter, I will never use AI. Well, here's the thing. I have used AI for work to search and provide me information on various medical processes. I have used AI to go out and gather and generate lists of articles in libraries. I have utilized AIs to generate information that shows me a general makeup and construct, but you cannot take it for what it is. You have to know enough about the information that you're having AI get to understand where it didn't pull the right information from. You have to understand it well enough to understand where its gaps were. If you take it as is, you're going to have erroneous information in there 100% of it. Because AI is flawed. It's just, it doesn't have all the information it needs. And it's there, and there's so much bad information that it doesn't know how to discern and distort from it. And so when you look at that kind of stuff, you have to go back through and take a minute and go, what is it? Excuse me, what is it about this particular item? What is it about this particular thing that just doesn't make sense? So anytime you hear something AI, you need to be scrutinizing 100%. I don't care who it comes from. You need to be scrutinizing. Now, you should be scrutinizing everything that you hear. Sorry. You should be scrutinizing everything that you hear because you want to, critical thinking is important. Okay? Critical thinking is important. Make up your own mind about things. But as you look through some of these, yeah, no problem. As you look through some of these items and as you see some of the various things that are here, Mint 65, right? You're seeing this particular coin. If you look at it, you see the information. Great collection. Absolutely fabulous. Cool. Right on, right? I want to make all this stuff is off. They show all these fancy, cool things. But when you look at the actual coin, you're not going to be finding. So they talk about the AU55 here. Outstanding. It's great. But they're not showing the AU55 coin. They're showing the MS65 coin from there. And they're saying that it's $30,000. You're not going to find a 1955 that looks like that in your pocket change. It's just not going to happen. Right? Um, looking at this now, this is a known. This is something that you want to watch for. This is a known counterfeit. They actually designed errors. Look at that SEG. I call it, it's the shit eating granite, excuse me, but it's that SEG from Lincoln, right? Those are the things to kind of pay attention to. There are things to look at. The other thing to look at when you're looking at this is the details, right? Look at the details. Now, I'm not going to show any more of these simply because I don't want to get a strike on this. But it's really important when you're looking at these particular items. Again, if you're talking AI, you want to make sure that you really dig in. But don't make an assumption. Don't make snap decisions based off of a couple different things. Now, I'm going to do something, and I'm not going to say it. I'm going to show it. I'm going to scroll through this stuff. And I want to talk about the number of viewers that a person has, or a number of views that a video has. A number of views that a video has. Now I'm going to get back to
Do you need something?
Coins Worth Money. Again, Coins Worth Money is one of these that always comes back up. Now, I want you to look at this. We know this site constantly gives out bad information. And I mean just totally erroneous information. Every once in a while, they'll give good tidbits of info, but we know for a fact that every one of these videos has bad information. They have 66,000 subscribers. Do not look at the number of subscribers and value that content above reality. You cannot utilize the sum of the subscribers in order to determine their knowledge about a coin. Okay, as you scroll down through here, and I'll give you an exact reason of why I talk about this stuff. Again, you talk about the 1.7 thousand views, 150,000 views. Okay, I'm going to click on this dude. Okay, we're going to click on.
Boyfriend took a year's worth of his tips.
Right.
To
Oh
his
yeah,
boyfriend.
check out all this stuff. Yay! Woohoo! Check out all this stuff. Oh my God! You have to look at these particular items. If you go to his channel, okay, how many views does he have? Or how many subscribers? 1.3 million subscribers. Does that mean he knows what he's talking about? No, not at all. Just means he has a good understanding of the algorithm. It means he has a good understanding of how to gain people's attention. He utilizes FOMO against people. He talks about certain items. He really doesn't know a ton about coins. Now, he searches, he does understand quite a bit, but the information that he gives is quite often wrong. He utilizes tactics to do stuff like that to turn a profit, right? Because for them, for these people that do this kind of stuff, it's not about the information. It's not about giving you the information you need to have good coin collectors, to have good coin collections, to have good silver, to have good gold. It's all about turning a profit. Now, why do I say that? Okay, why do I say you can't focus on this? Because if I come over here to LiveCoin QA and I look at the solid information they give, the good support, the help, the stuff that they dig into, look at what they've got. 6.7K subscribers. But look at the level of information. Look at what they do. Look how they break stuff out. Look at the information that's there. Look at how they break that stuff down. You cannot go by total subscriber count in order to talk about what they do and what they do not know. Hey, Coin Crew, what's going on, bud? Good to see you. Again, be very, very careful when you're looking at this, taking the total subscriber count and saying that equates to knowledge and understanding. It doesn't. There are people with 55 subscribers that have a better understanding than people with 20, 30, 40,000. Okay. There are people who understand errors and varieties who have, here, I'll give you a good example of this. Many people know this dude, Coin Junkie AG. How many of you guys know Coin Junkie? Coin Junkie's a stud. Loves to look at pennies. He's got 788 subscribers. But when you want to talk about sense, this guy has studied, he has asked questions, he has learned. There's not too many people really who understand a lot more about this set of varieties. So he's showing the 60, but we're talking about the 2009 because he really has dug in. He's done tons and tons and tons of research. This guy's bought roll after roll after roll after roll. He's asked Chuck, he's asked Livecoin, he's asked Eric, he's asked me. He's gone around, he's really studied, he questions everything. I would send you to Coin Junkie before I sent you to that Coin Dude. Not Coin Dude, the other Coin Dude that I showed you guys that has the 1.3 million subscribers. I would send you to him way, way, way before I sent you to the dude with 1 million subscribers because they have information. They actually desire and strive to learn and provide good, solid information. Eric, are you back? No, he'll be back in a minute. And so I would urge you to stop looking at the subscriber count as a method by which to validate somebody's knowledge of stuff. So for those of you watching on the vertical stream, okay, it's really easy to go through shorts and see stuff and look at stuff and check stuff out and see things. It's a lot of fun. I sit here on my phone all the time and I just go through and go through and go through. Instagram, TikTok, whether it be Twitter, whatever it is. Don't just follow the people with millions and millions of followers. If you like them, follow them. That's fine. But 1 million subscribers has no bearing on knowledge. None.
Yeah, I think the best content actually comes from people that have low followers.
Well, that's what I was just talking. I was talking about Coin Junkie. Prime example. Somebody who has asked 1 million questions, learned a ton about cents and coins in general. What is the minting process? Really breaks it down. Radial flow lines, lateral flow lines. How is it that things shift within the coin? What does this double die look like? What are the different varieties? How does this look? So when you follow somebody, find out how inquisitive they are about the hobby that they're looking at. How many questions do they ask? How many people do? And I'm using me as an example, but I'm not using me. I have a breadth of knowledge that's like this compared to many other people. And I'm showing something on the screen, and nobody can see me because I'm here. I have a breadth of knowledge like this compared to some of the folks live on Q&A. I just don't know a lot of the information, but what I do know is I do know a lot of people who know a lot of stuff, and I will send you to them before I answer. I will provide you with basic information if I have it. I will tell you what I believe. I will always say believe, but I will always connect you with the expert. If it's a coin, I'm going to send you to Eric, Paula, to Chuck. I'm going to send you to Blue Ridge if we're talking currency. I'm going to be sending you to Silver Seeker or things like that if we're looking at bullion, understanding the market. If you want to know about coin shops and the dealings of a coin shop and the things that they face, I'll send you over to Keith at CoinStreet. If you want to talk about how to do like big bullion stuff, we'll get different people like Yankee. We'll get people like Seeker. We'll get people like SD Bullion, JM Bullion. We'll get people on who talk about that stuff. I'm sending you to them. I'm not answering for them. I'm not an expert in that field. What I pride myself in is giving you guys the resources and trying to connect you to people who do have that information. So when you're watching a channel and you're trying to learn something about a coin, how inquisitive are they? How knowledgeable are they? Go back and look at their videos. Go back and look at their video list. If everything they've done is AI generated and you're finding mistakes in every video, it's a good indicator that you probably don't need to be seeing those things come up in your feed. Don't click on them. Don't view them. Don't look at them. A lot of people say, well, I always leave a negative comment. You're actually increasing the engagement of that channel when you do that.
That's right.
You are not
like, dislike, whatever.
Yeah.
You can hit the thumbs down button. That has the exact same effect on a video that thumbs up buttons do.
Yeah. So again, you got to be very careful because a lot of people are like, "Well, I will watch the video and then I will tell people about it and tell people not to go there, and I'll give it a thumbs down, and I'll post all these questions and comments against other people." Don't do that. Don't do that because what happens is they don't read the comments. Number one, um, they will just utilize that because it builds their engagement. So it actually shows you're very engaged with that content. And all YouTube recognizes is that you're engaged in that. And because you're engaged in that, now all of a sudden you show up. Now, when you look at some of these other channels, Coin Junkie AG, for instance, I know this dude really, really strives to be better. We talk about Lifecoin Q&A. You know, Paula's up all the time. I would consider her one of the most knowledgeable ladies in coin. Actually, of the people I know, there's only 3 or 4 people that I would rank above her. Now, there are other people that I don't know that go way above her. I don't know Jack Young. I don't know Joe Cronin.
Well,
I know the names, but there are a lot of other people. But
but a lot of those people, when you're saying she's the smartest person in this, they all have their specialties. Some people are smarter in different aspects of the hobby
exactly,
than
yeah.
other people. So uh, you have to pick and choose who your expert is.
Well, and again, if you have somebody claiming and touting how smart they are and how much they know, and
Yeah, that's
they
really not a good sign.
they have plaques all over their walls talking about all the amazing accomplishments they did regarding coins, and they're constantly posting about how brilliant they are. And I look at this amazing library that I've built and I'm so smart. And those are red flags, folks, right? Those are red flags. Find somebody who is a little bit more humble and says, I don't know the answer to that. I've been around the hobby for quite some time. I just don't know. But I do know the people because I've been in the hobby for a long time. Or, hey, I know a couple people that own coin shops. Or, hey, I know the person that wrote the book. Let me reach
There you
out to him
go.
and see if I can't get him to come up and share information with you. A great example, Eric and I talk about somebody that him and Chuck know very well that is very well known, but he's not very well known. His coins are extremely well known. He's not. But when we wanted to talk about a very specific coin, if we wanted to actually see that, we could probably get that coin sold. Actually talk about what it is. How did you find it? Right? Where were you at when you located this particular thing? How many coins
Yep.
did you look through to find it? Right? So I would rather be a resource for you to connect to other people, be a resource for you to be able to find good, solid information, be a resource for you to locate and identify things like errors and varieties, then spend all this time trying to become an expert in it when I know 20 or 30 people who already have a solid basis. Why would I spend my time doing that? I would rather do something like, hey, have you guys ever really thought about all the interesting ways or all the interesting elements in which my stories are tied to speeches? You ever thought about that? Like, really thought about the Yoakum silver dollars and the way that they got their silver was by doing peach brandy? Or the Redfield hoard, and the reason that so many of his coins didn't make that MS65 list when they did the Redfield hoard was because it got so hot one summer in Reno that all the peaches that they canned exploded and just went all over bags of silver. That's the kind of information that I like to figure out. What are
That's the
those
cool.
rare obscurities that people go, are you really? And then they go look it up and then they learn. That's what I'm better, right? Did you know that,
And the
Eric?
stories are what keeps it interesting.
Did you know that the reason that there's not more Redfield hordes is because Many of them were damaged by peaches. True fact. Did you know that?
I didn't know it. Nope, I had no clue.
So here's another one, and we talked about this in trivia when we did trivia yesterday. Eric gave me one of my favorite bits of trivia that I've ever learned. You know what that
Which
tidbit
one?
is?
Blakesley?
No,
No?
flip flop.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The most
That's a good one
counterfeited
too.
item in the world. Chanclas, flip flop, slippers. Right? I'm like, are you kidding me? That's
Well, you think
fascinating information.
all over the world, you go to Asia, that's what they wear. They don't wear shoes. So
Yeah.
you think about it when you start taking the world into consideration. There's a lot of places that don't have you know copyright stuff and patent infringement. It doesn't exist there, so they just make stuff that looks exactly like it.
Yep. People are
So
familiar. We are creatures of habit. And this is one of the things that if you really stop and look at things, this is where I struggle with generation creation. I don't know what attracts me to a thumbnail. I don't know what makes me click on a thumbnail. I don't know the science behind it. And sometimes my thumbnails are good, sometimes my thumbnails are bad.
I don't think thumbnails make me click on anything. I think that I usually read underneath the thumbnail, and sometimes if I don't know, I just kind of hover and get I don't even let it run, but it does go count as running when you hover your mouse pointer over a video and you start seeing the subtitles.
You have that 5-second review or whatever that is,
Yep.
that 3-second preview or yeah.
Well, you can go longer than that. You can actually hover your mouse over it and it'll keep playing. You can watch the whole thing silently. At least I can. I don't know if it's
It
something
depends
that's in the
on
settings
where you're at, because like if I do, and I'll pull this back up again.
but usually automatically it gives you like 5 seconds.
Yeah. So I'll
If
show
you hide
you.
it.
I'm gonna bring this back. Oops. How did I do that? I already had it up. We'll pull up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So when I hover over this, it only shows me just the same 1 or 2 second snippet over and over and over. So some videos that are set up that way allow you to do it, but most of them only give you a snippet. Now, when you're in somebody's stream, or when you're actually looking at searching, so let's go to so you come over here and you go to here and you click on these items. This is it takes you to a small portion of it, but it just cycles that particular rotation. Sometimes it doesn't always go through and show you. Sometimes you can watch the entire video. If you're in this view, you can, but if you're in that person's channel video view, you can't. So it kind of depends on where it is when you're actually looking. Like if I'm searching in my videos, I wouldn't be able to do this because I'm looking in general. I would be able to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it depends on where you're at. If you want to do this, kind of get a feel for what's going on, then you can do that. But so I look at different things when I'm trying to do that. But my point in all of this, the reason that I'm saying all of this, is there are some sites that you just want to really be careful for. And one of the primary things that I'm going to tell you to be aware of is if everything they do, if it's all AI, that should be a
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
That's something that should definitely be a warning sign. And some of the AI is really, really, really good. So you need to listen to things. You need to, because so for instance, the video I released yesterday in support of Tiger Stacker's live stream, I'm trying a new audio editing software, and I'm no good with editing. It sounds choppy every time I try to fix it. It sounds cleaner, it sounds crisper, but it sounds choppy. If I try to speed the audio up through those choppy parts, then the normal part sounds like it's being rushed.
You sound like the chipmunks then.
Well, it's like so. For instance, like the issue behind this is the item that we're looking. Now, I have natural pauses in my speech, but I normally talk pretty steady. I have a good flow of things. I stop between segments, give people time to think about it, but I don't stop usually in the middle. When I edit something, like if I make a mistake and I have to go back through and record that portion again, then it'll be something like look of the end of sentence volume is low. Interesting. Um, when you look at the editing software that I did, and that's not how I talk. And so editing it through and trying to edit through and figure out what was going on with it, I ended up making myself sound like an automaton. So sometimes people can do that. Sometimes people can work themselves into situations like that simply because they don't know how to edit, right? But the ones that I'm talking about, my audio is choppy.
Sounds good here.
Mm. Is anybody else experiencing me being choppy in audio? Because if so, then I need to go back through. Matter of fact, here, let me do this. Let me
I said you sound perfect to me.
let me do this. I'm going to. I don't know what this is going to do as far as it'll probably make Eric sound echoey, but let me know if that makes it sound any better. Let me know if that it might be something that I enabled. All right, so let me know if that sounds any better. Eric, will you talk for a minute and let's see if it makes you sound echoey?
All right. Well, I got an interesting factoid. You remember me telling you about a package that didn't come? A bunch of rolls that I ordered months back. They didn't show up. Well, they showed up yesterday. 58 days.
Okay, perfect.
And
Did he sound echoey? It's all okay.
all okay.
Okay, outstanding.
Yeah, 58 days.
That's insane,
And
dude.
there was, usually when you got a package that's like that and it comes real late, you get it and it's in a plastic bag and it's been sitting in a puddle and it's destroyed. This package came and it wasn't intact, but it was all the labeling was intact. For the most part, it was intact. There was only a couple small things missing out of it, out of a small hole that I'm sure was pretty new within the last, little bit. But I don't understand how it got lost. I mean, everything was perfect on it, and the labels, everything were in perfect condition.
Did the damage? Did it look like it was cut?
No, it was a rip, and it was a rip because it was kind of a heavy package. I mean, it was 75 rolls of coins, so it got tossed and landed on a corner and ripped.
Oh,
And a
okay.
couple of the rolls broke that were inside.
Because I had a
And
package come from Tiger Stacker, and folks, I'm going to tell you this: if you own a coin shop or you have a name like Stacker or Coins or Silver or Bullion in your name,
don't
please,
put it on the
please,
return address.
please do not put that on your shipping labels. You make yourself a target. Don't do that. It drives me insane when people, oh, by the way, SG, I just saw you were in here. I got it in. Thank you. This is mine, and the other one's going to Bifrost. I'm looking forward to seeing the dragon stickers. Um, yeah, Kevin, he's very aware of this. But yeah, you want to be very, very careful to ever put coin shop. You ever want to be very careful ever putting bullion or silver or gold stacker or stacker. Stacker is a red flag name too. Inkman78 member for 4 months. Thank you for being a member, my friend. I greatly appreciate you. Desiree, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming
But
into the
I was
stream.
shocked.
Say
Shocked
again?
that it came and it came in. I said I was shocked. And basically, like I say, I mean, there was a couple busted rolls open and a couple missing rolls, but overall, everything was in pretty good shape. I mean,
So
I can't understand why it took so long. I mean, usually there's a reason. The barcode's damaged. The name is damaged. And then you see something like it'll say hand cancel or something like that when the barcode gets damaged.
I'm going to show you something. How many of you, so you're talking about coins in packaging, and I've got this turned around this way so you can't see the information that I have on here. How many of you send coins in envelopes and just a like a plastic flip and an envelope and a card? Now, I will do
Very
it.
rarely.
I will do it.
I
I
do
do it
it.
all the time for the free giveaways. I'm not spending $7 to send a $2 coin or $5 coin.
Right.
So I will put it in there. But there's a way to do it, right? Take packaging tape, which I don't have up here. I think it's downstairs. Take your packaging tape, take your flip, whatever, put it over the top, the bottom of the flip. They can cut that out, then have it there. But you cover all edges because a buddy of mine who works at the post office says, "Hey, Frosty, come here. I want to show you something." And I was like, "Okay." And this was before I was doing this. And he's like, "Do you have a coin in there?" And I said, "I do." And he's like, he goes, and after about 4 or 5 times, that coin shot straight out of the envelope.
Yeah, I do the tape, but I pinch it in a piece of cardboard, like or thin piece of cardboard, so I fold it and then tape that too, and then put that inside the envelope. And then it costs like 82 cents to send it because it'll be over an ounce at that
Right.
point.
Well, but the point he was making to me is even in the cardboard,
It'll shoot out the sides.
it'll shoot out the side. So what you have to do is you have to make sure it's in something that, number one, that movement is what they call a 3G spin. We used to have these back. You did IT years ago. Remember the old SCSI drives?
Yep.
How did you get that SCSI drive unstuck?
Never had one stick.
You ever had one
But yeah,
stuck?
how do you get
Dad did that a
anything
couple
unstuck?
times.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of electronics that look at the old Nintendos, blow on it, smack it on the desk.
Yeah. So again,
Stuff like
if you are shipping stuff like that, okay, number one, don't ever put your stacking logo. I yell at Tiger all the time. He's got this really kick-ass package. Matter of fact, Supreme Ginger's in here. He does this stuff, okay? Now, Supreme, I'm not going to show his address, but he types in Supreme, SG. Doesn't say stacker, doesn't do whatever. And he's got his little logo, and his little logo is a little dragon eye. If you want to do something like this, that's fine. No problem whatsoever. But don't ever include the word stacker. Don't ever include the word bullion. Don't ever say, if you go down and they ask you what's in the package, don't say gold.
Right.
Don't say silver bars. Don't do that to yourself. If you have to claim something and you insure it for the proper amount. Do that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you're protected. But do not put stacker. Do not put, collector. Do not put coins, because again, as they go through, people are going to start to see this. Now, I put Frostbyte CNC, and everybody that looks at it thinks, because I send stuff that is kind of heavy, excuse me, every once in a while the item will rattle, and they're like, "Oh,
parts?
what do you manufacture?"
Yeah.
And I
Machine
tell them
shop.
all sorts of stuff. Sometimes it's bearings. Sometimes there's little puzzles. Sometimes they're little whatever. I don't ever tell them what the hell I'm sending. They think I have a CNC machine and I manufacture stuff. Now, my postal carrier, she will bring stuff to my drop box at my home, and she will say, "Hey, these are your coins. I put them wherever she sticks them. She actually has my small garage code. She can enter them in, stick them inside a shelf that I have. I love my postal carrier. She's amazing. She gets Christmas gifts from me every year.
Yeah.
I take
Which
good
is
care of her.
illegal.
She's
Do you
awesome.
know that?
Huh?
That is illegal. Do you know that?
Is it really?
It truly is. You are not allowed to tip or gift anything to the postal service.
Oh, well, I didn't say that out loud. Okay.
Right.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know it was illegal too. We used to give gift cards every year. And then I finally got a carrier and he said, don't do that. He says it's illegal and he says I can get in trouble for accepting.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, so I'll quit doing that because that's bad news.
Well, you don't have to quit doing it, but wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Don't talk about it. I
No,
well,
I
actually,
don't
this
like
guy had,
impropriety at all. If it's illegal, I won't do it. Period. End of
yeah,
story.
my coin or post guy now, he'll say, "What the hell's in that box?" If I didn't know better, I'd say it's $100 in pennies, and I say, "No, it's parts." So when you say they think it's parts, I actually say that it's parts.
Yeah, well, and so she'll know. Like she sees stuff, and there are certain people that send to me. Um, there's one person in particular that when he sends, it doesn't matter if it's something tiny, it doesn't matter if it's something good. She knows who he is,
Yeah,
and I'm like, how do you know that? She's like, well, I watch YouTube.
yeah. Well, my last mailman,
I
he knew.
I see this
He
kind
was
of
great,
stuff.
great
I
about
know
it
what
though.
you do. I know the kind of things that you're into. When I do, I have a 300-gallon saltwater aquarium that has reef and fish and stuff like that in there. Um, I have her number, and I'll text her and say, "Hey, I'm expecting a package of um, corals, or I'm expecting some
Fish
uh,
or whatever.
whatever." Yeah.
I got a
Um,
good fish story in the mail.
yeah. See, Robert, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was always something very small. There was a number of that amount. I thought the amount was $50. You couldn't tip any federal employee anything over $50.
Well, the
So
post office is different.
yeah, I'll have to check into
Uh,
that because like I said, I didn't know that that was the case. If that's the case, I won't do it. Um, I'll find other ways to say thank you. But there are
oh, you can. As of 2022, they are allowed to accept gifts of $20 or less. Though, what's the though mean?
that's a
Um,
one-time gift, or is that annually?
oh, actually, the rule was changed December 11th, 2023. So that's a brand new rule. It used to be illegal to tip them at all.
Okay, well, cool. Well, now I know,
Yep.
which is good because I usually don't tip her very much. I usually just tip enough for her to go to dinner. Um, but yeah, I mean, so my postal carrier is really good. Now, the place where my post office box is, they know me very well. Um, the head postmaster at that is subscribed to the channel. They come in periodically and they say hi. Um, and they know exactly what's going on, but that staff knows that the packages that are sent to me are tracked. That I know when stuff is done, emails, we talk about it all the time. I'm constantly talking to people about what's going on there. I've got a great relationship. Now, my other post office, the stuff that comes to my house, I don't have things sent to my house. Very, very rarely is there anybody that will ever send me anything to my house because I don't
And
keep anything of value at my home. I
with
have
this
places off
package,
site that I keep stuff because I don't want people showing up at my door saying, "Hey, you have stuff that I want." I
yeah,
won't do it. I show my face. People know the general premise of where I'm at. I do not keep stuff on site. I just will not do that.
I do got to give a shout out to the employees that were there because my postmaster here and the postmaster at the city that the guy mailed from, they went over and above, checking every day, calling, letting us know where they were, what was the deal.
Yeah,
Like
see, that's
when it
good
first got
service.
mailed,
That's good
when it
service.
first got mailed, my postmaster says that was not actually scanned. That was an auto scan. So sometimes it'll say your package has left this facility. And the postmaster says that doesn't actually mean it left the facility. That means that the clock was ticking and that they put an automated email out or an automatic flag up saying that it was moved, that
I've
it's still going to
had
be on time.
I've had packages say that they were delivered and the post offices came 4 hours later
Yep.
and
Well,
delivered
that's
it
the
to my
post
door.
guy. That's the guy scanning the package in his truck.
Yeah. And so there are a lot of times because they're held to timelines. There are a
Yeah.
lot of times where they're trying to uphold those timelines and make sure that they're where they're supposed to be. And you got to be very
But
careful. Now, not everybody has good relationship with the post office. Not
yeah,
everybody can
these
trust the
guys
post office like I can.
did a great job. I mean, I tried to file an insurance claim. They says you can't because you don't have the mailing receipt.
Right. But it's very important. And again, I'm not going to belabor this anymore. If
Yeah.
you are a channel and you send stuff, do not put on that packaging ship coins, silver, gold, bullion. Don't put highly collectible, rare date, seated Liberty quarter. don't, don't do that stuff because you're asking for it to get taken. You're asking for it
And
to
if
get
you
stolen.
ship something valuable, it's one thing to ship something that's worth $100 because most stuff comes with $100 automatic coverage now.
Yeah.
If you're shipping stuff that's $1,000, insure it for $1,000. Don't take the chance because you don't want to spend $6.
Oh man. So here's my general rule of thumb. And there are a couple people in here. Steve, are you still here? I know Steve probably came in and then took off already. I will buy stuff. Steve knows what kind of stuff I like. I will periodically pick stuff up from Steve looking for silver. See Happy Chappie's always sending me stuff saying, hey, I seen this at an auction. You might go on and look at it. You know, it's going to be up later. Supreme Ginger Stacker will contact me periodically and say, hey, Frosty, they're going to be putting this up. You want to go check that out. Um, yeah, Kevin, that's so everybody who's in chat right now in the landscape mode, I'm going to copy that and put that into the vertical mode because those are great words you want to avoid when you're doing this. Because,
And don't
yeah,
let the post up during an insurance claim say that they don't cover coinage
that's not
because
true.
they do.
That's
They
not
do.
true. They
You,
do.
and it's like section 4.5C, B and
Yep.
C. I believe that's it. You do as soon as you tell them that, they say, okay, we'll get you your claim.
Yeah. And so the other thing is when you do that, make sure you keep receipts. If you buy
That's
that
right.
coin for $100, keep that receipt because if you ever need to claim back against it, you can.
That
Tiger
and
Stacker and
you
I are going through that right now because one of the packages that he sent me that was like this, the box got tore on one end and a slab fell out. And the slab is a $150 slab. And he has the
was
receipts
there
from the
anything else in
purchase.
that package?
Say again?
Was there anything else in that package?
There were 3 other items in the package. There was only one thing missing.
That has been the conundrum that I have run into when getting an insurance claim.
Yeah.
Like this one here, I'm wondering how it's going to work out. I'm going to keep the package if I have, but in the past they've said you have to surrender the package and everything else that was in it to get the claim.
Well, in that case, because the items that were in there, I'd be happy to do so.
Yeah, as long as they give you all your money for them.
Well, it was insured for the replacement cost, so that would not be a problem. But again,
So, but yeah, that's the thing. And
keep
this
your
wasn't. I
receipts,
want,
folks. If you're dealing
that's
with
right.
numismatics, keep your receipts.
And only the person that has the mailing receipt can make the claim.
Yep. I, as the recipient, could not make the claim. Tiger had to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I walked Tiger through doing
No,
it
he
because,
gives you
as
the, he
people
gives you
know,
the
he's
receipt.
technically challenged.
Yeah, he can send you the receipt and then you can make the claim, but you can't make a claim without the mailing receipt.
Yeah, he had everything. He had all the information. He had the receipt. He actually sent in the receipt of the purchase, indicating that it was done. But yeah, so now in my case, it wasn't somebody that cut open the package, reached in, and took out the valuable coin, because there was another coin in there that was worth $400 that got to me. That coin subsequently went to somebody else. I was the middleman for that particular transaction. And so the real expensive coin did get to me. It's just the coin that he was sending to me personally, which is the Liberty Britannia. It's the proof coin from England. It's the one with the mintage of 20,000. So it's the highly collectible one. And I wanted that one because I wasn't able to get it from the mint when I ordered. By the time I did it, they were already gone. And so I wanted that proof coin. But it looks like it had been dropped at the edge of a lift. You know how the lift goes up? It looked like it had been
Yeah.
dropped at the edge of the lift, and it ripped through the edge of the package.
Yeah, the
Um,
package that I got, the rip in it was barely enough for a roll of pennies to come out.
yeah.
I mean, it was
Hey
that
Stan, how you
small.
doing, brother?
And that's what I'm saying. It was so amazing.
What's up,
There
Pedro?
was absolutely no reason why this package didn't show up. It was in
Yeah,
great shape. The label was great. The barcodes were great. Everything on it was great.
yeah. So
Uh,
again, the important thing to remember when you're doing this kind of stuff, number one, if you're going to do it, always, always, always insure your packages. Now, I was talking about Steve just a little while ago and the stuff that I do. I've done this with Chappie. I mean, everybody who sent me stuff in this chat knows that if it's over a couple $100, I'm paying the extra for the signature.
well,
Uh,
even if you don't, the insurance.
well,
That's
but
my
even then,
threshold. It's
I
only
want I
150
want a sign
$200 to
for it.
put insurance on it.
Hey, Pamela Bird just subscribed. Thank you, Pamela, for the subscription. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So,
Um, that's awesome of you. Yeah, subscribe from the vertical side. Outstanding. Hey, Wendy. Good morning. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you in the stream. But again, it's one of those things that if I'm sending something, I'm going to ask them up front. Do you want me to insure this? Do you want me to put a signature on this? It's over this amount of money. I would highly recommend it. This is
if
the
it's real
difference. If
big
you want
money,
to put into it,
definitely
please let me know.
have
But
a
again,
signature.
I'm going to, if you're sending it to me, I'm paying for the extra because I want to make sure it gets to me. Plus, I know I trust my mail carrier, and I know because when I talk about my mail carrier for my PO box, I know the headmaster, I know the entire team, I know them by name, I know a couple of their kids, I know two of their spouses. Like you know me, I talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I had one 58
Signature is
days.
always the way to go.
That one just showed up yesterday. But I got a great fish story. I used to mail tropical fish all over because I used to breed tropical fish. And I bought some tropical fish from a guy in Texas, in Plano, Texas. And they made it within 5 miles of my house to the airport. And it was 2 days, FedEx 2 day.
Yep.
And they made it to the airport like 5 miles from my house, and then they didn't get delivered. And the next time I did the tracking, they were in Seattle, then they were in Tokyo. And 2 weeks later, I got the fish, but they traveled the world. They must have got left on a plane, and the plane from FedEx went all over the world before it got back. And believe it or not, the fish were alive and the fish reproduced after. The fish
Oh,
made it 2 weeks in a bag.
lucky. I had that
Yeah,
happen with some coral and they didn't make it. I
yeah.
called the,
Well,
the
saltwater stuff's more sensitive,
I called the
and these
airport
fish
and
are
I
like
told them I would come pick it
cuttlefish.
up and they would not allow me to do it.
Yeah, well, there was nothing. I mean, it got scanned in Oakland County, and then it was gone. It got scanned
Wow.
right back out.
Wow. Yeah, I
So
enjoyed um the the tropical fish. I enjoy doing the coral reef and stuff like that. I do it for preservation because um, once you grow a large coral colony, you can donate that back to, um, some of these seafaring places, and they propagate them even more.
yeah,
Um, I have a couple places locally where I've donated fairly decent colonies to local aquariums to continue to grow them, and then they propagate them to different places, and then they continue to grow these particular species of coral
right.
so that they don't go whatever, and then eventually they end up with the places that actually try to repopulate them back into the wild.
They do that in Florida a lot here.
Yeah, and
But
so
FedEx, Pedro says he sends FedEx. Out of all the delivery services in my area, FedEx is by far the worst. When I get a package, it's not even square anymore; it's round. It's been beat up. I hate it when people insist on shipping FedEx.
Well,
If you're shipping a letter, they're great.
so vote for Pedro. Did you know that Federal Express and United Parcel Service were merging?
And did you know that United States Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS all work together? You see FedEx trucks picking up United Postal Mail.
Yep.
Uh, they all pick up mail from each other, and they all help each other when they don't have routes that go to certain areas.
Oh, so yeah, they're going to call the company Fed Up.
There you go.
Sorry. I was
But
waiting for him to say, no, I didn't, before I dropped the dad joke. Yeah, that's one of my favorite jokes. I love that shipping joke. I use it all the time. Um, but again, I've had good successes, but it depends on what's being shipped. If I am
Yeah, I
shipping
actually think the
something,
Postal Service is the best. I truly do.
if
Uh,
I'm shipping live animals like coral or stuff like that, kid of mine's like, oh, good lord. Um, hey, you guys know that this is what I love to do. I like to joke and laugh and have fun, um, because I enjoy the hobby of numismatics, and to enjoy it, I'm going to tell jokes and have fun. That's just what I'm going to do.
yeah, that's like what you call a no-eyed deer.
No
No
idea.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no idea.
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
I don't know. Yeah. Nice.
Oh God, people are going to be like, no, please no. The one that I did like, and so folks, for those of you that don't know, some of the dad jokes I write myself. I actually had a couple people ask me if I would do a video on how I write a dad joke. And I'm like, I don't know that people would watch it. I can do it if people would watch it, but I don't know that people would actually watch it because I
They just kind
enjoy
of pop
like
into my head.
huh?
Jokes just usually when I make them up, they just pop into my head.
Well, yeah, but it's because you understand the premise of what's behind it. So you can create a joke pretty quickly, but it's because you're studied and you understand some of these open. Wendy, yeah. So I stream in both vertical and horizontal. That way you can see it on either one. If you're on a device, you can do that. It's easier just to scroll through. But if you want to look at landscape mode or you're on your TV, then it's easier to do it in landscape. So I stream both ways. But so I've had a couple of people ask me, would you be willing to do that? So if you guys are interested in doing that, I'll put it together, 2 3 minute video, very short. But like we were with my daughter, and this actually happened. It's a real thing. It's not a made up thing. We were sitting down. We ordered fish and chips, and when the fish got there, I was like, "Oh my God, those fish were in a fight." And she looks at me. She goes, "What?" I'm like, "Look how battered they are."
Nice.
And she was like, "Dad, I think they're getting worse." Which makes me laugh even more. And she tries not to smile. She tries so hard. But I like telling jokes about coins. I love doing this kind of stuff because, again, folks, this is a hobby. It's not a job for me. I like learning. I like teaching. I like sharing information with you guys. So people are like, well, you do too much. No, I do what I enjoy, and I want to make sure that you guys get stuff from both sides. I've had too many instances, and I've told you guys this story. One day, I'm actually going to do a video on this story. Um, I need to reach out to the person who called me in and see if they'd be willing to kind of interview me on that particular item. But I tell jokes like this religiously because of something that happened when I did it just because. There was no rhyme or reason. It changed a person's life. It stopped them from doing something of harm to themselves. And I tell jokes because I want to smile, I want to laugh. Um, but I never know what I'm going to do impact somebody else. So there needs to be something, at least part of my day, where I affect a smile in someone. Because you never know how something so simple can change the impact or change the course of somebody's day. I love that one, UCI. My grandfather used to tell me that joke all the time. My dad fell in a well. He couldn't see that well.
Right.
Oh, I love that. It reminds me of my
That's like what does a
granddad.
bug see when he hits the windshield? His butt.
Yeah, exactly. What's the last thing that goes through a bug's mind? Yeah. But again, I love those kind of things. But I also do coins, jokes about coins. Like, I threw a bunch of coins out on the patio and told my daughter it was hailing coins. And she's like, what? And she looks up and I was like, I wonder if that's what they mean by climate change.
Oh boy.
And she was like, well,
Well,
Dad.
if she's like my kid, you just get the eye roll.
Yeah, well, she, she laughs. But see, again, I can talk about numismatics and stacking and collecting and all these different things, but most of us are parents. Most of us are grandparents, or some of us are grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters. We all have people in our lives who we can affect in a positive way. And so, if you can glean something from this hobby other than how to tell a 1969 double die from ejection doubling, um, then cool, right? If you can walk away, tell a good joke, change the path of somebody's life, do it. And so I like doing all of that. And so again, make sure you follow the shorts because that's where you'll see my dad jokes. The one that I did yesterday, I did specifically for See Happy Chappy. Chappy, are you still in here? Um, I did that one specifically for him. When I learned that people really, really um, really into something, the whole alien thing for him, I will put, there you go. I did that joke just for you, brother. Um, and so if I find out that people really like something, I will create custom jokes for you because, again, you guys support me and do stuff like that. I enjoy that kind of stuff. So if you guys want a joke about something, send me something. Comment on a video and say, comment on one of the jokes and say, hey, I've done this. UCI, you are the third person that has told me that me doing this reminds me of their dad or their grandfather or something like that. I absolutely love that. So, yes,
My
it did
dad.
arrive.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
He had some dumb dad jokes, but they're still classics.
Well, yeah, but again, they all bring they all bring memories back. I remember my granddad used to talking to me about. I got really good at puzzles, um, where it was like PhD, and then there's a line, and it was DDS, MD, DDO, and it was like, what is this? And you had to figure out by the use of sense, or by the use of understanding all of those individual elements, what that was. And so here, I'll actually pull this up in chat, and I'll show people what I'm talking about. He used to do this, and I honestly say that it is one of the few things. Whoops, that was really weird. Um, it was one of the few things that I honestly believe helped me to get smarter. Like my granddad was training my brain not only to understand the elements of jokes, but to
Oh right.
understand the meanings behind all of them, right? Robert the Bruce, good day, sir. I hope you're doing well.
After you're done, I just got clarification from a postal carrier about tipping a postman.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and do it. I'll pull this up in just a sec.
Uh, United States postal employees are not able to accept any cash, any checks, or anything that has a cash value under federal employee regulations. They are only able to accept gifts worth $20 or less. So, like if you buy them a Christmas oven mitt, that's good. But anything like gift cards, anything like that, you can't give them. They are not allowed to accept anything monetary. And that's per a postal carrier.
So this is
And,
the
and
kind of
they said
stuff.
it used to be no gifts, period. But people would give them cards, like cards in the mail, like Christmas cards and stuff like that. And technically that was even illegal at one point.
Oops. There you go. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. This is the stuff my granddad used to do. So where you had a 0, MD, DDS, PhD. Does anybody know what that is? Now I kind of showed everybody just a few moments ago. If you were paying attention, you would have saw what my search criteria was. Robert Pintoff, you're an interesting person. That constantly amazes me. Dude, I can't get a better compliment, man. I can't. I like making things fun, but to do so, you have to challenge people's intellect. Make people think about stuff. Make people think about jokes. One of my best bosses, him and I would sit down. Now, he was a commander. He was a vice commander, excuse me. And he would sit me down, and we would sit down, and he would ask me, okay, here's a joke that I heard today. What's the punchline? And he would sit down and we would talk about the idea behind it, and we would come up with the punchline, and then we would play the end of the joke to see if we were correct. And it got us thinking about different ways of listening to conversations, different ways of thinking about certain elements. But it made me so much better at telling jokes. It made me appreciate them even more. And it made me look back at some of this stuff that my grandfather used to do for me and go, oh my God, my granddad was extremely smart. I just didn't quite understand what he was trying to teach me. So what this is up above you have a 0. Then you have a line and you have MD, PhD, and BSc. Now, if you understand these things below, these are all doctors, but they are also degrees that you can achieve. So this particular puzzle would be 3 degrees below 0. And these are the kind of things that actually helped teach me how to learn and tell jokes. These are the things that I actually would study and learn because you had to understand the various meanings of each of them. Can you solve this rebus? That's what it's called, the rebus. Yes. There's a whole bunch of these, right? Like this one. Okay? This one right here, this second one, right? You look at these and you see, yeah, you see these things. I like eye doctor.
I like the see-through blouse.
I can see through the blouse. Yes. See through the blouse. Yes, exactly. He's beside himself, right? First aid over here on this one. Okay. You got this one?
Yeah, first aid. There you go.
Yeah. So there are these types of things, and I love looking at this one. This one right here. I love some of these items. 6 feet underground. Okay. Glancing backwards or glance backwards. Okay. Tricycle. Reading between the lines. Crossroads. Or right. You're looking at the O in the crossroads. I don't know what that one is. I'd have to figure that one out. Take me a minute. This one right here, number 19. This is a hard one. Okay, anybody figure out that one? That's a tougher one. Yeah, so again, these are little things that I enjoy. Doing these types of puzzles help you to really understand things behind it. So this is 1 in a million. There's O-N-E and there's million. So this is 1 in a million, right? Broken promise. Okay, neon light, 3 degrees below 0. So these rubus are things that I really enjoy looking at. These are the kind of things that I like to look at because, again, it teaches people to think outside. Oh, my physician, doctor, be psycho, is what I got out of it. uh, I think there's some personal issues there, kin of mine. No, but again, so when I like to tell dad jokes. I like to have fun. I like to think of things different. I like to share wisdom and information, but I also like you guys to make up your own minds. I like you guys to think critically and decide for yourself. This is why I don't try to become an expert in everything. I try to connect myself with people who do, because it's really important to share that. Put my card up again. Hold on. There you go. But yeah, looking at some of these things, and I can, if you guys want these rubrics, I can send you guys some of these. I can put these things in chat. Um, we can do a game day of nothing but these, where people do it, and instead of doing trivia, I do a rubrics day. I think that would be a lot of fun, because you can't do YouTube or you can't do Google to pull up some of the answers for this. Yeah, you'd have to know it in order to search it. Um, and so there's a couple. The one before. Oh, it's okay. Hold on. Oh, it's cut off. Hold on just a sec. There you go. That one. So that is 3 degrees below zero. And again, so if you guys wanted to do something like that, I definitely can do something like that. Maybe on a Sunday where we're playing around and having fun and doing whatever, we can talk about some coins, or we can play a game or do something. It doesn't always have to be the panel up. We're talking specifically about coins, gold and silver. Eric also talked last week. We talked about an idea regarding the collectible portion of things. What do you guys collect? What do you guys like to have?
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds neat to me.
yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun. So the people that are in chat, whether you're in vertical mode or whatever, type in the things that you guys like that are
Or the
not coins,
strange
silver,
stuff.
gold related.
I
Um,
mean, strange stuff that you have. It can be a vase or a cooking utensil or a bean pot or something
who here has
real
an
weird.
Iron Maiden? Right? Like weird stuff, cool
Hot
stuff. Yeah,
Wheels
there you
cars.
go,
There you
Gatita.
go.
Hot Wheels, Beanie Bears.
Coins. It can be anything.
Yeah, and
Or
so
the
what I would
Frosty's
like you guys
Roadshow.
to do is I'm going to actually I need to create this today. I want to create a community post that says, "Tell me some." I have Iron Maiden stuff too. I love Eddie. Tell me some of the stuff that you collect. Tell me the stuff that you're interested in, and then what I'll do is cowbell collection. That is
There you go.
cool,
Send them
Jeff.
a picture of something.
Yeah, and send a photo of your favorite one, right? And I've got to figure out how to do that. I'll probably end up having to be email, but actually talk about some of this stuff and actually talk about what it is you guys like to collect. Not just coins, because you guys know what the
I mean, but
channel
it
is.
can be coins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it could be coins. See, Malcolm, that would something I would be absolutely fascinated by seeing some of your trains. I love model trains. They're absolutely cool.
I used to
Um,
have an enormous train collection. It
yeah,
was one of the
it's
things I had to sacrifice when I moved.
yeah, stuff like that is amazing. And we talk about all my yeah, well, put a few of them in the shower, launder that money. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that people collect. So I want to gain people's interest. So if you're interested in doing something like that, let me know, because I absolutely would love to host something where we talked about, let's say I got 5 or 6 pictures that were really cool of trains or the bells, and then we just broke it down. And okay, well let's talk about the history of this. Let's look at some of the hand carving items. Let's say somebody found one of the old Swedish toys from the turn of the century that was actually utilized or given out by somebody that was like
Ooh,
Chris Kringle
scissors.
or Santa
Scissors
Claus.
are actually very collectible. My wife's got tons of scissors.
Yeah, there's so many things that are amazing that would bring in other people in the community to show that, hey, this is more than just coins. Now, I love coins. I love silver and gold. I like talking to people about this stuff. But again, if you guys want to share stuff like that with you guys, take
When
photos
you
of it.
said that,
Tell me that
Frosty,
you're interested in it. Post
when you said you
post
like
here.
silver and gold, I just heard Burl Ives singing Silver and Gold.
Oh, interesting.
You
Do I
ever heard
sound
that
like Burl
song? Of
Ives?
course you have. Huh?
Do I sound like Burl Ives?
No, it just reminded me of that. Was it Frosty the Snowman or something like that? That he sings that in?
Yeah.
Or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah. So
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah.
yeah, but if that's something you guys are interested in on this live stream when you guys are done, go in when it's finished, put something in the comments and say, I am interested in doing this. This is something that would be fun. I've got an old photo that I would love to send you. I've got things about trains and bells and whistles and the old custom scissors and all that kind of stuff. If you want to do stuff like that, you let me know, right? You guys can always do email. Send me an email, and that's exclamation point email. Yeah, squirrel, but that's fine by me. I don't mind. Um, but let me know because again, folks, this is ultimately my channel. But the purpose of this is to give you guys information that you're going to want to watch, right? Not everybody's going to be interested in talking about an ancient pair of scissors, but there's enough of you that are interested in learning that you may be like, oh, this is interesting. And so I definitely want to look at doing that. I definitely want to look at trying to get some things together, try to look at stuff like this. This topic, the topic for today, where it was the warning, be careful of these sites. There's just some things to look for. There's a couple absolute sites I'm going to tell you to avoid, like the plague. These were customer created questions that were generated, given to me, and they said, can you please do something on this? Absolutely. So if you guys want and gals want something, you reach out to me, let me know, and I will do what I can to generate it. It may take me a couple weeks to get it done. I may get it done the very next day, depending upon the depth of what we want to talk about. But you let me know, and I will do whatever I can to make sure that we're sharing information that appeases a lot of people here. So, well, folks, cool. It's 10 o'clock in my time. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up.
All righty. What's tomorrow about? Just
Paula
the
woke
random
up just
stuff
in time
again?
for us to leave. You must have needed it, my friend. No worries whatsoever. We had a good discussion, but we'll talk about it. We'll do a part 2, and you can share the information that you pulled. She was going to pull some additional information. We'll get that another time.
I'll do it tomorrow.
So, but yeah, everybody, thank you so much for being here. It was a great discussion, great topic. Thanks for all the communication. Paula, get some rest. I'm glad you were able to sleep in a little bit. Ron, I got tons of stamp stuff to do. We can definitely do stamps. I've got gold stamps. I've got pewter stamps. I've got a whole freaking book of stamps that Ida Herring sent me. She knows that I collect that stuff, so she did something really nice for me. Stamps that used to be extremely valuable that now were only worth 10 or 12 bucks.
Face value. Yeah.
Yeah.
The coin shop I went to this morning, I was asking him about stamps, and he says, if they're uncirculated stamps, I'll pay face value for American stamps. He says, there's 20 stamps basically that he'll pay money for. He says, because everybody else, there's only 20 that are really worth money now.
Yeah, they
Everybody's
just
got all
they
the other
don't.
ones.
If I would have sold my granddad's collection 25 years ago, I would have had a bunch of money.
Yeah,
All
and
of
now
it's
they're
gone
worth
now.
nothing. Yeah.
All of it's gone now. So,
And it's basically like the airplane stamp with the airplane upside down and a few other stamps that are like unicorn stamps. They're like the coins that everybody thinks they're going to get in their pocket change.
that's really cool, Robert. See, all that kind of
Oh,
stuff is really
there
interesting.
you go.
Hey, Bifrost just popped in. Sweetie, we're just closing up shop. We're just wrapping up. But, folks, if you're not already subscribed to Bifrost, I want you to do me a favor. I am going to post the link here. She's here. She's got 61 subscribers. I want to get her 39 more subscribers so that we can get her a community page. So I'm going to post that link in there. Bifrost is here. We've got her up quite a bit, but if you could please share this out. If you have a Pedro says good morning, Bifrost. Ronald says hi, Bifrost. Um, if you can share this, send it to kids, people who like this kind of stuff. Have them kind of like comment on one of these videos or some of the stuff that she does. Have her request stuff. Like she'll take requests and she'll do stuff. 63 already. Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. But there's a lot of people who would like this kind of stuff. I really want to try and promote and get that community page to where people can start engaging. She does some amazing stuff. Next time she's here, probably on a Saturday, we'll go through, we'll do some more drawings, give some more digital drawings away. So again, please share her stuff out. Please, let's get her to 100 subs just so we can get her to that community post. So she can start doing that and people can start doing stuff and requesting and talking about that. That is something I definitely want to do. I can support her all I can, fiscally, financially, moving her from here to there, but I can't get her subs. That's up to you guys. So please share that channel out and get her out there, and let's get that up to 100, folks. I appreciate you. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to head out of here. Eric, thank you so much for coming up and for hanging out
Anytime.
with
I'll
me.
see y'all tomorrow.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Hopefully you found this interesting. I did change this up a little bit. I've got a number of people that said, hey, Frosty, it's just too busy. So I decided to give myself a little banner, go back to some basics, have the game here because there are some people who like to play that. And then I have the little thing up here along with the notification when people subscribe. And again, for the people who have come in, Pamela Bird is probably already left, but if you're still here, Pamela, thanks for subscribing to the channel today. Little Cheetah, thank you for subscribing to the channel today. I really appreciate you too. Thank you so much. And then to all of my members that pay, Inkman was a member for 4 months, but to all of my members who do that, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And just, man, I can't tell you guys how much I love and appreciate you guys. I really do appreciate you guys. I hope you guys know that. All right, folks. Well, you have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Tiger and I may go live a little bit later tonight. We just do some random chit chat on his channel. If you do pay attention to that, I'll post something to my community page if we decide to. Please go check out the video I did on a failed 1913 decision. This is a little bit outside of my scope. I'm not a financial expert, but please go watch that. Give me some feedback on that. Again, I changed some editing software, did some stuff. The audio doesn't quite sound too good. But anyway, please go check that out. Share that out, and let's get more people engaged. All right, folks, be well, be blessed, and I will see you.